What is up, guys, and welcome back. Today we'll build something a little different compared to my other videos, and it's basically what you can already see in this sketch file. As you can see, it's a kind of welcome screen or a splash screen or whatever you want to call it, really. It has this loader, it has your name and I don't know, your job or whatever you do, and it's really a nice addition to any website, and you can use it on any page you want, basically. Of course, we're going to build this whole thing and also animate it with anime.js, and I'm very excited to just finally be able to sit down again and record this video, as I've been quite busy with exams the last few days. But let's get started. You will start by, of course, setting up a directory again, and yeah, basically you need a CSS folder, a JavaScript folder. If you write says, you can add that as well, and your index.html. I've added a few things already, so just our basic structure here, and let's give this a title. And yeah, I've linked my style sheet, I've linked anime.js and my JavaScript file, which I call welcome.js. As you can see, it's all still empty. The only thing I have got prepared here are a few lorem ipsum paragraphs. One of them has an ID, and that's basically it. Let me show you what this looks like. There we go. Let me rearrange that like that. This is basically what this whole thing looks like at the moment. It's just 2 paragraphs, nothing fancy there. Let's start by styling this whole thing. Of course, you can play with fonts, colors, style in general, and I'm just going to show you how it's done, and you can play around with it and have fun. Alright, we'll start, just give me a second here. We'll start by, well, let's comment this, global styles, that's what I like to call it, and we'll give it 100 viewport height units, the body, and 100 viewport width units. By the way, that's Emmet, which allows me to like write these shorthands, and we'll need a padding of 0, margins of 0 as well, and what we can also do is say display flex direction will be column, align the items to the center, and justify content center as well. This way our content and our stuff in here will basically be centered. I guess that's it for the body. Now next up will be the welcome. Oh, totally forgot that. Of course, we first have to write our actual welcome screen markup, which will basically be a class of welcome. That's the wrapper, and an h1, which says, for example, Max Mustermann. That's a German kind of placeholder name. Let's give this a class of heading, and h3, let's give this one a class of subheading, and this one, let's copy this one from Sketch and paste that in. Awesome. And then the little loader, so it's going to be loader wrapper and loader. Good. that's it. So we can comment this as wrapper and say .welcome, and the welcome screen will have a few different styles, really nothing too fancy here as well. So width and height, position can be set to absolute. Background, can take that from Sketch. Copy and paste. And it's also going to be display flags, and it will also have align item center and justify content center. And the flex direction will also be column, yeah, right. And some letter spacing, assigned that as well, and the color of those will be white. Okay, so that's for the wrapper itself. Now let's do some simple styles for the text, for the heading and subheading. So the heading has the font family Snell Roundhand, I think it's called, and actually we have to use double quotes, or we should use double quotes. I think you can get this font on the Google Fonts API. And yeah, we also need font size, of course. 50 pixels is what I chose, and yeah, there's one more thing we could set, but okay, it's opacity 0, but let's comment that out for now so we can see what we are doing, and I'll explain that to you later. Subheading also needs fonts, font size of 16 pixels, and we'll need font weight 100, and letter spacing of 2 pixels. Actually, I'm not sure if that's correct, but let's leave it at that for now. And the font family here is one of my favorite fonts, Avenir Next. I've installed that on my Mac. You guys can also use just another font, whichever you like. And we'll need some margin bottom, because the subheading, as you can see, has some padding from the loader, so that's the margin bottom of 40 pixels. And again, opacity 0, but comment that out for now. Next up are the loader wrapper. Writing the right, of course. Okay, .loader wrapper. .loader wrapper has a height of only 2 pixels, as you can see. So basically the loader wrapper is this background, this gray kind of background, which shows how far the loader actually goes, and then the loader itself is this white part. And it has a width of, let me see, width of 150 pixels. That's basically this whole thing, of course. And it has a background color. Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. No, that's not correct. No. Oh, okay. Well, I think Okay, sorry guys, ed is the background color, this kind of grayish color, and let's set the border radius to like 100 pixels to round them completely, and again same thing, opacity 0. Dot loader, the loader itself has a height of 2 pixels as well. It has a width of 150 as well, because we'll animate it, so we don't have to set it to like, I don't know, 100 or something. That's going to be animated, and it has a background color of white in this case, and a border radius again with, yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Opacity, no, this one does not have the opacity 0. So the opacity 0 is basically because this welcome screen will be animated in via anime.js, and when we initially load the page, we don't want the items to pop up, because that could happen if like the anime.js is a little slower to load. And by setting them to opacity 0, we are making sure that even if the if anime.js is loaded slower than the actual page itself and the elements, it's not going to pop up. Oh yeah, we also need to style our paragraphs. Whoops. Paragraphs, like that. P, tab, and those have max width of 500 pixels. They have a font family of, oh, double quotes, did I? Yeah, okay. Avenir next as well. Avenir next. And let's set this line height to 25 pixels. Let's set text align to justify, and opacity 0 as well. Opacity 0, let's also set the color to a gray, 585858 should be good. Let's check this out. Yeah. Well, this gap is kind of way too big. Let's see. It's the heading, I guess. Margin bottom. Let's set it to 0. I can actually close sketch. Oh yeah, that's better. Well, this is kind of hard to read, but that's okay, I guess. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and give me a second here. Whoop. Okay. I guess we can now uncomment those. Yep. And now we can go ahead and write our JavaScript. So we're starting with, as always, document.add event listener, DOM content, of course. DOM content loaded, and we want to execute an arrow function. We can start off with the, let's see, Okay, let's start with the wrapper itself, with the welcome wrapper. So basically this gray background here. What we'll do is, let's first comment this wrapper timeline, and or rather wrapper animation. And what we'll do is anime.timeline, and inside this timeline let's specify the target, which is .welcome. Whoops, welcome, comma, and easing, my favorite one, ease out expo. And below that we want to add the first animation, which takes the width and animates it from, and this has to go into quotes, 0 viewport width units to 100 viewport width units. Oops, quotes. I think you guys can imagine what this looks like. It goes from 0 to 100, basically starting as a line and then expanding into both directions. Looks really nice, I think. And we also have to animate it into opacity 1 because we have specified it to be 0, and a duration of 1200 milliseconds should do the job. Whoops, whoa. And .add the next animation, which is when we add this thing, when it like expands, our text pops up, our loader pops up, it loads, and then we also have to get rid of this whole thing. And I thought what would look nice is just animating it out to the right. So we'll do that by adding a delay first of all, because we do not want it to start as soon as this animation finished, but as soon as all the other elements are done animating. So we'll need this delay, and then what we'll do is translate X, and we can simply say single quotes 100 viewport width units, because this makes sure that with whichever screen width you have or screen size you have, it will be animated out completely, because it's 100 viewport widths, the whole viewport width. Yeah, so that's that. Duration again, 1500 should be good, and we also want to have a callback function which needs the anime argument, and this function should do document.query selector, and we will select .welcome, so the wrapper we are currently animating, and we want to simply remove it, because when this is animated out, that means the welcome screen is basically done animating and it's finished, and we can remove it so we can get to the actual page. That's it for the wrapper. Let's check it out, and it should now animate to the right. Yeah, awesome. Boom. And after 2000 or 2.7 seconds, I think, it's animating to the right. That's awesome, because that gives us enough time to now animate our text. Yeah, it's 2.7 seconds. Okay, next is, let's call it heading animation. And this one is even simpler, just anime targets dot heading, and we need some delay. Usually looks nice to add some kind of delay to it. We need to animate it to opacity 1, like that, and duration of 1800. And for this one we'll do translate y from, let's see, minus 30 pixels to 0 pixels. This will basically, whoops, 0 pixel, this will basically take it from its initial position and it will animate it basically down. It has opacity 0 and it kind of moves down and transitions into opacity 1 and then ends at its specified position. And we need to say ease out expo. That is that. Let's check it out. Boom. Nice. I think we can now copy this thing, add a subheading, animation, comment, specify that this one is the subheading, add some more delay, let's say 600, and I think that's it. Yeah, let's check that out. Whoa. Syntax, yep. Okay. Yeah. Nice. I think that looks good. Okay. Awesome. No, we don't need to copy that, but let's do the loader wrapper now. So this, sketch is closed, but the gray part, basically, I think you guys know what I mean. Yeah, so loader wrapper is really easy actually. It's anime, targets, dot loader wrapper, yeah, loader wrapper. And as this is simply the wrapper and not the loader itself, we don't need to play around with a fancy kind of animation, but simply animate it in to opacity 1 and give it the correct easing option and a duration of 1800 should be good, simply so it appears. Wait, that's let me check. Right, we're missing the delay, 1500. See that, guys? It's like just fading in very subtly. Okay, well, it's kind of too light for me, like from a design perspective. Let's see, what can we do there? Loader wrapper. We want a darker gray. Let's check this one out. Oh, I'm not sure if that made a difference there. Let's go even darker. No, it does not affect it. Why is that? Loader wrapper, background color, background maybe. That should not be the reason. No, it's not. Opacity 0. Opacity 1. That's weird. Wait. Let's whoops. Let's try black. Does that affect? No, okay. Well, maybe it's something with the compiler. No, it's not. It says background black. Why is that then? That's really weird. Guys, help me out. Let's see. Well, it's kind of difficult to. Okay. Let's comment out this callback so we can like look at it in the inspector panel. Loader wrapper is the one. It has a background color of black, and it's animated into opacity 1. Color, okay, color doesn't matter. What does it? No, it should not. Why is that? That's weird. Okay, let's uncomment this again, and let's just move on, and let's see if we can somehow fix that later. Alright, so loader wrapper, let's load a wrapper, and now we want to animate the actual loader itself, so that's simply loader, opacity 1, easing, duration, and yeah, let's actually use a longer duration for that one, and we need some more delay, like 2 seconds maybe, and for this one we'll do width from 0% to 100. This will look like the loader basically. See? Oh, now it's actually black. That's weird. Had to be something with the JavaScript, I think. Then let's adjust the color. Whoops. Let's try that. Yeah, that looks a lot nicer. Nice. Awesome. Okay. And then in our JavaScript we of course also want to use our paragraphs. Paragraph animation, and that's simply P, opacity 1, easing, some more delay I think is what we need. Yeah, but we will use a function for the delay, arrow function like that, and we'll simply return 5.2 seconds times 100, no, plus 100 times I like that times our iterator. It's basically giving our two paragraphs a delay of 5.2 seconds and adding 100 seconds depending on the iterator, if it's 1 or 2 or 0 or 1 actually. That makes them like appear at a slight delay. It looks pretty nice usually. Can remove that one, but instead we want to do a pretty similar animation to our headings. So we'll do a minus 30 pixels and 0 pixels actually. Let's check that out. Boom, loader and out and paragraphs. Yeah, awesome, it works. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're done. And I like the result actually, it's cool. Okay, awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. My next video will be a dribble shot again, so stay tuned for that. And also thank you guys a lot for 100, and I think we are at around 120 subscribers at the time of the recording, and I'm also really overwhelmed by your guys' feedback. You guys seem to really enjoy these, and I'll keep making new videos if you guys learn something from them. So yeah, hope to see you guys back in the next video, and till then, bye!